Hello friends, in this lecture we will study about social movements. So let us start now. Social movement must involve collective action, and collective action should be sustained over a period of time. These sustained collective mobilizations can become a social movement only when it seeks to change the present condition. So social movement comes out of two basic aspects. So first one is sustained collective action or mobilization, and second, change orientation. M.S.A. Rao says that a social movement essentially involves sustained collective mobilization through either informal or formal organization, and is generally oriented towards bringing about change in the existing system. Rao considers ideology as an important component of social movement. The term social movement is being used to denote a wide variety of collective attempts to bring about a change in certain social institutions or to create an entirely new order. Social movements are a specific type of concerted action which last longer and are more integrated than mobs, masses and crowds, and yet are not organized like political parties and other associations. A social movement may be comprised of organized group without having any formal organization, which comprises trade unions, political parties, etc. Now let us see what are the prerequisites of social collective mobilization. For sustained collective mobilization, as we know, social movement is all about sustained collective mobilization. So for sustained collective mobilization for a period of time, the movement needs first one is an organization, and the nature of organization should be flexible and variable so that it can easily adapt to the changing situation and demanding condition. Second, leadership. Every social movement needs leadership to take vital decisions and to guide movement in its course and direction. The leadership should be variable, as Weber has explained sometime. Charismatic leadership is instrument in starting social movement. However, in many cases, consensus leadership also emerges after the movement starts. This consensus leadership may not be charismatic in nature. Third point is ideology. An ideology is a coherent set, or we can say body of ideas through which the people involved in the movement interpret their environment. It is a means of projecting the self-image. So it is a means of projecting self-image. It codifies and organizes belief, outlook and values. It defines the aspirations and goals. Ideology acts as a source of legitimization of the new values, relationship, norms envisaged by the group. It also directs responses to specific social situations. Thus, it acts both as a framework of consciousness and a source of legitimizing thoughts and actions. There can be various kinds of ideology, for example, nationalist ideology, secular ideology, Marxist ideology, millenarian ideology, etc. So this is all about ideology. We will study about ideology in separate topic. So here I have used, we already know about secular Marxist. Let us study more about some this term millenarian ideology. So what is millenarianism is? Question in UPSC questions have been asked. Have been asked on this topic. So let us study now. A belief in future age or millennium when evil will be defeated. It is derived from the term millennium, means a period of 1,000 years. It is believed that Christ will reappear in the guise of warrior, vanquish the devil, and then build the kingdom of God and the rule for 1,000 years. It is formed among the people who are very weak, lack resources to change their situation. And hence seek supernatural intervention in their favor because they themselves lack resources and strength. Tribal movement in India, for example, Birsa movement is basically millenarian movement. So such kind of movement in which the opposition is very strong, mighty, like British Empire. In case of tribal rebel in India. So here people seek supernatural intervention. Now let us study about general feature of social movement. So first one is group consciousness and sense of belongingness are essential for social movement because it creates active and collective participation. So here group consciousness and sense of belongingness are very much important for social movement. Second, social movement develops consistent sets of ideas which its members must accept. So basically it's all about ideology. Third, social movements tends to spread beyond the boundaries of the state or national society. Fourth, social movement involves collective action rather than individual action. So here collective action. Fifth, social movement is always change oriented. Change can be partial, total, positive or negative. Now types of social movements. Neil J. Smelser has discussed about two types of social movement. First one is value oriented movement which seek a change in basic values of society, that is drastic, fundamental change. Far reaching changes question very basis of social order. Second is norm oriented movement which seek a limited change with respect to certain norms of the society without questioning the basis of social order as such. So here some reform movements in India can be termed as norm oriented movement, and value oriented movement, that means India's struggle for independence comes under this. Now M.S.A. Rao, what he has said, according to M.S.A. Rao, there are three major types of social movements. What are these? First one is reform movements which seeks to bring about limited change without questioning the basis of social order, adopt legitimate means only, do not generally involve major conflict in the society. Second, transformative movement, we can put examples here also, and we have to put transformative movement, those which seek middle level changes in existing relation of distribution of power. And third, revolutionary movement, those which seek drastic change or strong opposition by entrenched group, those enjoying power and wealth, probability of conflict is very high. So here we can say here Dalit movements example, or here independence struggle for independence, India's, this will come under here. Religious reform movement, Transformative movement, we can put examples like educational reform movements. Now here caste movement we can include, but here in Dalit movement it will be revolutionary type, it is conflictive. Now here we can put example of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Now genesis of social movement. How does social movement start? The theory of relative deprivation developed by Stauffer. Relative deprivation is the primary cause of social movement throughout most of the underdeveloped and developing countries like India. Relative poverty, hunger, illness provide the necessary ingredients to people to compare themselves to the other groups and feel deprived. This feeling of deprivation gives rise to protest, and when these protests have sustained over a long period with aid of ideology, organizations and leadership, they are converted into social movements. Revolution seem most likely to occur not when people are most miserable, but after things are begun to improve, setting up rounds of rising expectations. These create intolerable gap between rising expectations and falling realizations. Now, Robert Merton's reference group behavior and theory of relative deprivations are often used to account for deprived class and class movement in many third world countries. For example, relative deprivation and reference group behavior are accountable for most of the Dalit movement or deprived caste movement in India. Social movement in South Asia has come out from racial discrimination. Sectarian movements in Sri Lanka, when Tamils have had feelings relative deprivation in comparison to mainland Sinhalese majority population. Now another theory is resource mobilization theory. This theory gives more importance to techniques rather than the causes of movement. It attributes importance to the effective use of resources in promoting social movement. Resource mobilization theories such as Jald, Ash, McCarthy and Wall see leadership and organization are the major determinants of success or failure of social movement. For example, Sangur movement intensified here in West Bengal against Tata's Nano project. Intensified and successful when Mamata Banerjee got involved and succeeded in raising the issues of interest. Naxalbari movement, exploitative system of landlords was there, and leadership of Charu Majumdar and other intensify the movement. So this actually social movement is emphasizing much on the techniques, that means leadership and organizations, because of this the any collective movements, collective actions become social movements. Now let us see structural strength theory by Neil J. Schmelzer. Neil J. Schmelzer identified a number of conditions facilitating the rise of social movement. First one is structural strain. There must be some contradictions or a strain in structure of society. He further argued that a feeling of relative deprivation may prevail among sizable or large section of population. This means that people must experience some tension before they can be motivated to participate in movement. Second, structural conduciveness. Schmelzer says that certain societies are more favorable or conducive towards the change. For example, Indian society provides more flexibility towards multiple culture, religions and change in society also. Indian society also provides political freedom or political mobilizations. Our political system also provides freedom of articulation of interest and grievances, freedom of speech and expression, freedom of association, freedom of movement across the nation. Third, spread of generalized belief. Once a general belief or idea has been created and spread regarding the problems or issue, then large section of mobilization of change is possible. This generalized belief expresses common interest and the sense of deprivation that group suffers from. Fourth one is precipitating factor, triggering effect or a spark. Precipitating factor or events acts as a spark or triggering event for starting social movement. It encourages direct action by those who originally take part in social movement. For example, in Kashmir, when some killed may be terrorist, immediate reaction. Fifth, coordinated group. This includes organization and leadership. Sixth, operation of social control induces the response of existing political authority toward the social movement. Now let us see revitalization theory by A.C. Wallace. Revitalization theory argues that some social movements are the results of deliberate, organized and conscious effort on the part of the members of the society to construct a more satisfying culture for themselves. The movements under this category are called revitalization movement. According to Wallace, revitalization movement come up in 4 stages. Cultural stability. It is the period when the people are happy with their culture and there is no resistance to prevailing culture. Second, stage of cultural change. This is the time of individual stress. At this stage, most people feel unhappy about the prevailing culture. Third, stage of cultural distortion. At this stage, there is a disillusionment or disassociation develops within the people towards existing culture. Fourth, cultural revitalization. At this stage, revivalism of old traditional cultures comes up. For example, most of the fundamentalist movements are based on this kind of stage. For example, certain tribal movements like Birsa movement among Mundas and Tana Bhagat movements among Oraon in Jharkhand. Now let us see what M.S.A. Rao has said. M.S.A. Rao identified 3 factors relating to the origins of social movement. First, relative deprivation, already we have discussed. For example, Naxalbari movement. Second, structural strain, when the prevailing value system and the normative structure do not meet the aspirations of the people, the society faces strain. A new value system is sought so as to replace the old, and this leads to the conflict and tension and a social movement. Usually, individuals in such a situation violate the social norms. For example, Dalit movements in India. We can see here structural strain. We know what the structural strains in society. Now, revitalization offers a positive alternative. Movements are started for revitalizing the existing system, which is undergoing a structural strain. Urge for revitalization can generate a movement which promotes patriotism and national pride. Youth movement or the literacy movement are other examples. Movements are started in order to solve the problems collectively, not merely protest against what they define as wrong, but also try to provide an alternative. Now let us see the life cycle of social movements. 2 people associated with it, Jaldas and Herbert Blumer. Following stages in life cycle of social movement according to them. Stage 1 is unrest stage. It is characterized by widespread discontent among people. Stage 2, popular excitement. At this stage, the discontents among the people become focused. Cause of discontent are identified and proposals for actions are debated. Third stage is formalization stage. At this stage, leaders are emerged, programs are developed, organizations are developed, tactics and alliances are formed and worked out. Stage 4, institutional stage. It is termed as institutional stage. As organizations takes over the movement from the early leaders, bureaucracy is developed within the movement. Ideology and programs are crystallized. At this stage, organizations lack lacks flexibility. This is also a stage when the charismatic leaders are either dead or out of movement or may have lost their charisma. At this stage, the social movement ends its active life. Stage 5, dissolution stage. This is the stage when the movement either becomes an ending organization like political party. For example, JMM, Jharkhand Mukti Morcha movement led to the JMM as a political organization. Dravidian movement gave rise to DMK party. Dalit movement in Maharashtra gave rise to Republican party. Otherwise, sometime movement fades away, possibly to be revived at some later stage. So these are the 5 stages of life cycle of social movement. Now let us move forward. Role of leadership and ideology in social movement. Social movement constitutes people's effort to organize themselves to fight against inequalities, discrimination and deprivation. Widespread collective mobilization has led to organized movements with defined ideologies and leaders who have brought important changes in societies from which they originate. Leaders are important for movement because they help clarify the issues and thus give shape and direction to the movement. They provide guidance to movement. They prevent it from becoming desperate, unruly collection of people. Leadership reflects the view of people, collective view of people, organized collective view of people. So we have to keep in mind that we have to use some catchy words. They present people view in an organized manner. How the participant attempts to achieve the started objectives will be largely determined by the leadership the movement can throw up. Role of ideology in social movement. People follow leader because of what he represents, a set of ideology that he places before the people. Ideology plays a role in sustaining the movement. It helps in understanding a situation. It legitimizes the actions pursued by the people involved in social movement. Ideology makes people understand and justify the implications of their action. Ideology indicates the goals, means and forms of practical activities of social groups and of individuals. It supplies the justifications for various social, political and moral ideas and action, thoughts and actions. Ideology distinguishes a social movement from mere initiates. Leaders operate within the ideological framework. So these are the importance of leaders and ideology. Now let us move to the new topic called new social movement. So let us see what it is. New social movement theory emphasizes the distinctive feature of recent social movement in the post-industrial society. So it is basically new term, new word has been added, new. So it is basically a post-industrial phenomena of North America and Western Europe. This theory also explains certain new social movement that has come up in Asia and Latin America in recent decades. Characteristics of new social movement. What are the characteristics? While traditional social movements, what we have studied till now, were concerned mostly with economic issues or political issues, the new social movements tend to focus on cultural change and improving our social and physical surroundings. For example, the international environmental movement opposes practices that aggravate global warming and other environmental dangers. Second, most of the current social movements are international in character and transnational in their reach. These new social movements means they are international and transnational in character. These new social movements are focusing on global ecology, The socio-economic political standing of women and gay people, animal rights and oppositions to war as the process of globalization connect the world nations in more and more ways. Third, whereas the most social movement that means traditional of the past draw strong support from the working class people, new social movements with their non-economic agenda usually draw support from the middle and upper middle classes. However, critics claim that these differences have been exaggerated between past and present social movements. For example, the women movements in the past and present focus on the same issues without any difference. On the other hand, many people argue that one clear strength of this theory of new social movement is its recognition that movements have increased in scale in response to the development of a global economy and international political connection. This theory also highlights the power of the mass media and the new information technology to unite around the world in the pursuit of political goals. Anthony Giddens has argued that the rise of new social movements in recent decades is a reflection of changes and risks now human society is facing. The conditions are ripe for social movement as increasingly traditional political institutions find it difficult to cope with the challenges before them. They find it very difficult to respond to the risk facing the natural environment and the environment created by the human being. He also argues that new social movements are paradox of democracy. While faith in traditional politics seems to be declining, the growth of new social movement is evident that citizens in the postmodern society are apathetic or uninterested in politics. However, they are more willing to take alternative paths of politics, whose prime instruments are the new social movement. There is now growing belief that direct actions and participation is more useful than reliance on politicians and political systems. To some extent, new social movements are helping to revitalize democracy in many countries. They are the heart of a strong civic culture or civil society. We can add more points through newspaper. So here I have put the basic idea of new social movements, and for criticism we can add points like these transnational movements, how these are effective. These are more symbolic in nature. So we can add more points. Now technology and social movement. Let us see what it is. In the late modern societies, information technology and social movements have created a positive alliance. We can witness nowadays social movements around the globe are able to join together in huge regional and international networks comprising non-government organizations, religious and humanitarian groups, human rights associations, consumer protection groups, environmental activists, etc. These networks are aided, maintained and promoted by electronic networks, communication devices, internet and other such technological convergence. Coordinating between diverse groups on certain issues is now more possible because of IT revolution. We can add more points through newspaper. So take the help of newspaper like Hindu and make your own points. So it's all about social movements. In next lecture we will cover collective action. Thank you very much.